The Rhineland, famous for its fairy tale castles, rolling vineyards, and the mighty winding Rhine, has long been a symbol of both natural beauty and human achievement. This region, nestled in the heart of Europe, powers much of Western Europe's economy, serving as a vital artery for trade, agriculture, and industry. Yet beneath this picturesque surface lies a vulnerability that emerges each winter: flooding. The same river that brings life and prosperity can also bring destruction, reminding us of nature's unpredictable power. As December's festivities begin and towns light up with holiday cheer, the threat of rising waters looms ever present. Floods can arrive suddenly, disrupting not just local life, but also the intricate web of global supply chains that depend on the Rhine's steady flow. The Rhineland's industries and waterways connect far beyond its borders, making its flood risk a global concern. When the Rhine floods, factories pause, shipments stall, and economies as far away as Asia and the Americas can feel the ripple effects. Flooding here is part of a larger, unfolding story, one of climate change, shifting weather patterns, and our evolving relationship with the natural world. Each flood is a chapter in this ongoing narrative. Understanding December's flood risk isn't just about tracking weather forecasts. It's about the people and communities who have been shaped by the river for centuries. Generations have built their lives, traditions, and livelihoods along its banks. But now, the river's moods are growing more extreme, with higher peaks and deeper troughs, testing the delicate balance between people and water. The stakes are rising, and so is the urgency to adapt. By examining the Rhineland's challenges, we learn about resilience, the strength of communities coming together in the face of adversity, and the urgent need for adaptation in a world of increasingly extreme weather. In this video, we'll explore why December is such a critical month, the science behind the floods, and the profound impact these events have on lives, livelihoods, and the future of the region. We'll revisit past disasters, tracing the history of flooding in the Rhineland, and see how climate change is raising the stakes, making old solutions less effective, and new strategies more urgent. Most importantly, we'll highlight the innovative solutions and preparations, both traditional and cutting edge, that are helping communities stay safe, from advanced flood barriers to community-led emergency plans. This is a story of risk, but also of hope, ingenuity, and the human spirit's ability to adapt and overcome even the most daunting challenges. So, let's dive into the Rhineland's December flood risk, uncovering what it means for the region, for Europe, and for all of us living in a changing world. The lessons learned here are more relevant than ever, offering guidance and inspiration for communities everywhere facing the realities of a warming planet. December in the Rhineland brings a perfect storm of flood risk. It's a month when nature seems to conspire against the region, combining several dangerous elements all at once. Persistent, slow-moving Atlantic weather systems settle over the Rhineland, drenching the landscape for days on end, not just a few hours. These storms are relentless, delivering wave after wave of rain that seems never-ending. By the time winter arrives, the soil is already saturated from weeks of autumn rainfall. The ground acts like a soaked sponge, unable to absorb even a drop more. Any additional rain simply has nowhere to go. As a result, rainwater runs off the land almost instantly, racing across fields and roads, swelling streams and rivers with alarming speed. Dormant winter vegetation, stripped of leaves and life, stops drawing water from the ground. With plants no longer absorbing moisture, even more rain flows straight into the river system, adding to the flood risk. The Rhine's many tributaries, all swollen at once, pour their excess into the main river. This synchronized surge quickly overwhelms the Rhine's capacity, creating a dangerous bottleneck. The result is a powerful surge of water moving downstream, threatening millions of people living in the floodplains. Towns and villages brace themselves as water levels rise, sometimes with little warning. December's unique mix, saturated soil, bare trees, relentless rain, and synchronized tributaries, creates the region's most dangerous month for flooding. It's a time when every risk factor seems to align perfectly. It's not just one factor, but the convergence of many that puts the Rhineland on high alert. Each element alone is manageable, but together, they create a threat that is hard to predict and even harder to control. Every year as December approaches, communities brace for what the river might bring. Volunteers fill sandbags, reinforce riverbanks, and prepare emergency plans, hoping to stay one step ahead of the water. Understanding these conditions is key to preparing for what's ahead. Local experts and hydrologists study weather patterns and river levels, working tirelessly to predict and mitigate the risks. The stakes are high, and the risks are rising. With climate change intensifying weather extremes, each December brings new uncertainties and greater challenges for those living near the Rhine. December is when the Rhineland holds its breath, waiting to see if the river will remain within its banks, or if another flood will test the region's resilience once again. To truly understand flooding, we need to follow the journey of a single raindrop, tracing its path from the sky all the way down to the river below. Each drop is part of a much larger story, one that unfolds with every storm. In December, powerful storms, guided by the relentless jet stream, sweep across the Rhineland. These storms can bring days of steady, unyielding rain, soaking the landscape and darkening the skies over rural Germany. The ground, already saturated from previous rainfall, simply can't absorb any more water. Instead, the excess rain rushes overland, flowing quickly down grassy hillsides and across muddy fields, seeking the lowest point. Small streams and creeks, which are usually calm, suddenly become raging torrents. They carry not just water, but also debris, mud, and anything else in their path, especially in places where natural floodplains have been replaced by farmland or urban development. All this runoff doesn't just disappear. It converges in the Rhine's major tributaries, creating a massive floodwave, a surge of water that moves like a traffic jam, building up pressure as it travels downstream. As the floodwave moves, water levels rise city by city, sometimes even days after the rain has stopped. The effects ripple through the region, catching many off guard. When the Rhine can no longer contain the surge, it spills over its banks. Flood defenses are overwhelmed, and water pours into streets and homes, turning familiar places into disaster zones. The sheer power of the water is astonishing. It can move cars, tear apart buildings, and erode riverbanks, reshaping the land in a matter of hours. What begins as a gentle, peaceful rain can quickly transform into a destructive force, catching communities by surprise. The balance of the river is delicate. When it tips, the consequences are not just severe. They can be life-changing for those in the flood's path. Floods in the Rhineland are often fast and powerful, arriving with little warning. Emergency crews race to respond, but the water moves faster than anyone expects. The journey from sky to river is relentless, a cycle that shapes the land, challenges communities, and reminds us of nature's unstoppable force. Floods are part of Rhineland history, but recent ones have been unprecedented in scale and destruction. The 2021 floods, though not in December, showed how quickly small rivers can become deadly torrents. Cities lose power, water supplies are contaminated, and transport links are severed. Cleanup costs billions and takes years. The scars on the landscape and infrastructure linger. Farmland is devastated, topsoil washed away, machinery ruined, and entire harvests lost. For farmers, recovery is slow and uncertain. The psychological toll is just as deep. Homes destroyed, memories lost, and a constant fear of the next flood. Communities are left anxious, their sense of security shaken. Each heavy rain brings back memories of disaster. The impact is physical, financial, and emotional. Floods change lives long after the water recedes. The region's resilience is tested every time. Behind every flood statistic are personal stories of loss and resilience. Imagine a family in Bad Münstereifel, fleeing upstairs as water engulfs their home, their history swept away in hours. Small business owners watch their livelihoods vanish as riverside cafes are destroyed. Insurance can't replace lost customers or community spirit. Farmers see generations of work undone as vineyards and soil are washed away. The flood threatens not just income, but heritage. Yet, in the aftermath, communities unite. Neighbors help neighbors. Volunteers arrive, and rescue workers risk their lives. Acts of kindness and solidarity shine through the devastation. These moments of courage and connection are the silver lining. The water can destroy much, but not the human spirit. Rebuilding is hard, but hope persists. The Rhineland's people show what resilience truly means. Climate change is amplifying the Rhineland's flood risk. Warmer air holds more moisture, fueling heavier, longer-lasting storms. The jet stream is slowing, causing rain systems to stall and dump more water. Warmer oceans supercharge storms before they reach Europe. The result: more frequent, intense floods for which old defenses are no longer enough. Climate change didn't cause every flood, but it makes them far more likely and severe. the region faces a new era of unpredictable, dangerous weather. The Rhineland isn't just waiting for the next flood, it's adapting. Cities are making room for the river, restoring floodplains and creating overflow zones to reduce peak water levels. Urban design is shifting. More green spaces, permeable surfaces, and green roofs help absorb rain and slow runoff. Advanced forecasting and warning systems give people time to prepare and evacuate. Cross-border cooperation ensures the Rhine is managed as a whole, not just in pieces. These strategies are complex, but essential. The goal: resilience, not just defense. The region is learning to live with water, not just fight it. Innovation and collaboration are key to a safer future. While cities act, individuals can prepare too. Know your flood risk, check local maps and sign up for alerts. Have a plan for what to do if a warning is issued. Install flood protection at home, non-return valves, raised sockets, and move valuables upstairs. Keep a flood kit ready: torch, radio, waterproof clothing, first aid, and important documents. When a warning comes, act fast. Move cars and furniture, deploy barriers, and turn off utilities if needed. Never walk or drive through floodwater. It's deeper and more dangerous than it looks. Follow emergency services advice and evacuate if told. Have a safe place to go: friends, family, or official shelters. Your safety comes first. Property can be replaced, lives cannot. Preparation reduces panic and damage. Simple steps can make a big difference. Everyone has a role in staying safe. The Rhineland's flood story is a warning for the world. Extreme weather and climate change threaten communities everywhere, not just in Europe. The region's response, making room for rivers, building sponge cities, and cooperating internationally, offers hope and a blueprint for others. Protecting homes and heritage requires long-term commitment and community spirit. The rising Rhine reminds us of our connection to nature and our responsibility to restore balance. By learning from the Rhineland, we can build resilience everywhere. The floods are a call to action for all of us. Our future depends on how we respond together.